Hello and welcome back to more of the Room 2, where last episode we played through the first level of the game, and today we will be completing the second chapter. And I want to make a special note here saying do not be caught off guard by how absolutely gorgeous this looks. If you are playing on a mobile device, it is not going to look this good. It's going to be a lot brighter and a lot less atmospheric, but I promise you, the actual puzzle solving is still the same across both platforms, so you don't need to worry. Anyway, what we're going to do now is zoom in on this pirate ship, and we'll read the note right here. There is still no sign, and my patience wears thin. In my frustration, I even scaled the foremast myself. A fool's errand. The fog is so dense I can barely see my own deck from the crow's nest, let alone the Helena. Regardless, I have had the gun deck run out the cannons in readiness. It is good to keep the men sharp. In case those hints weren't obvious enough for you, we're going to head up here, rotate these around so that the lines at the very end of this image right here are lined up with the ones above and below it, as well as this one right here. Slide it into place, and it's going to give you a small gold key. What is a small gold key going to be useful for, you may ask? Well, if we double click down here on these cannons, we can move this cannon to the left, grab it by the end, and then rotate it, and rotate it clockwise, and then pull the cannon towards you, or towards the camera, pull this one toward the camera as well, move it to the left, pull it toward the camera again, and that is going to reveal a secret hole for the key to go in. So let's put the key in, and then turn it to unlock another secret compartment in the pirate ship that we can open up and reveal, I said open it up and reveal, a letter hiding over here. So let's go ahead and read it. A mountain, a moor, a palace, a slum. Why not the quarters of a galleon in full sail? With each dizzying step, I am whisked around the globe as simply as turning a corner. Will you be following my path or forging one anew? What sights you must have witnessed, if my own experience is any guide. I'll keep leaving notes, and I urge you to do the same, that we might know if our paths have crossed. Thrilling as this is, there is something not quite right with this place, though I struggle to define what. Some earthy tang of reality that is quite missing. I sometimes fancy I can smell the line in grease paint. Alright, well that was fun, but what we really want to pay attention to is this strange shaped key right here. And you'll notice that there's a symbol at the bottom that has the top triangle highlighted. That's going to be important later, but for now we're going to slide this red gem all the way to the middle to unlock a new area for us to solve some puzzles in. So once it does that, we're going to back out, or zoom out, and here's the treasure box. But before we actually interact with the treasure box, we're going to go around the side of it and lift this handle up to reveal a strange cylinder. What does a strange cylinder have to offer, you may ask? Well, if we look at it, we can lift the two sides up, and it's going to change shapes. What is this going to be useful for? Well, nothing right now, but it will be useful in the future. Now that we have that, what we're going to want to do is head over here to take note of something down here. The top right triangle, or the bottom left triangle is illuminated up here. Again, remember it for later. And then over here, we want to spin around and rotate these circles so that they are both facing towards the center. This will open up the password to get a small key and a little diagram showing the bottom right triangle is highlighted in the top left. Again, this will be important, not later actually, but right now. So we're going to go to the treasure box, pull these to the side, and aha! Look at this, it's the same triangle symbols that we've been seeing the entire time. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to replicate it. If you recall, we need to rotate this bottom one counterclockwise to get the one highlighted up at the top. We need to rotate this top left one counterclockwise as well to get the bottom right one into place. And then we need to rotate this one clockwise to get the bottom left one into place, and this will perfectly match the shape of the key we found earlier. Put it in the hole, turn it to open up the treasure box, and now we can start playing around. First thing we're going to do is we're going to zoom into this little hole right here, put on our eyepiece, and then rotate this counterclockwise, which is going to unlock one of the 4 seals we need to get into this thing. Pull the switch in this direction, put on the eyepiece, and then you want to slide these 2 gold bars out, rotate it around so that the other 2 will automatically slide in. Zoom into this little piece right here with your eyepiece, pull this one that way, pull this one this way, and then that'll unlock number 3. Number 4 is going to be right here. Just pull this switch down, then zoom into the hole. It's going to be right here with your eyepiece. And then you want to pull these pieces out to the side, or into the corners, I guess. And this is going to reveal a slot for, you guessed it, this key to go in. So let's rotate it to lock it all together and reveal yet another layer of puzzle solving right beneath it. Now this is pretty awesome. So what you gotta do, first things first, we're gonna zoom into this letter right here. It didn't take long for us to track her down. We raced north for 2 miles on the deep sea currents to overhaul her head start. Approaching the mainland, we turned west for 2 miles to cut her off at the coast. With no sign, we headed 3 miles back south to meet her. We sighted her sure enough, but she cut through the cape before we could intercept. Now we must wait for the tide. Did these seem like really odd instructions? Well, they should, but they're also going to be very important in helping us solve the next puzzle. So once you've done reading this, I highly recommend you memorize this. This is going to be important later. So what we're going to do is back on out, and head down here. So, as you may have been able to figure out, the directions given here are the directions we need to replicate here. So, click north 2 miles, click west 2 miles, click south 3 miles, and then set sail. You'll know you've done it correctly if it rotates over and gives you the next set of instructions. Even the elements turn against us. Passage through the cape took us 4 miles west, and we soon sighted her masts 4 miles to the north of us. Seeing us in pursuit, she cut west 2 miles into a fog bank. With her heavy ballast, we would easily overhaul her if only this accursed fog should lift. Now, before we can set sail again, we actually need to reset it. So let's drag this, or I guess we can zoom in down here. Drag this piece right here up to the top, because this is half the keyhole. Then drag this one to the left, this one to the left, this one to the right, and then drag this one this direction, this one in this direction, and here, and just rotate it all around here so that we can flip this up this way, this up this way, and then rotate it around this way, like so, to get this one into place. Put the key in the hole, rotate it like so, and now we can continue on with the rest of our quest. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 miles west. And in case you can figure out, one square here represents 1 mile, then 1, 2, 3, 4 miles north, and then west 2 miles into a foggy bank, and then we can set sail to see if we are correct. And so it rotates again, but this time you'll notice that the paper is actually shimmering. We have her now. The fog lifted shortly before noon, and there she was, 6 miles to the south. Rapidly, we closed her down, and she fled east 2 miles back toward the cape. Now she lies north of us by just 1 mile. She won't reach the cape again. Alright, so put on your eyepiece, and now you can see we are actually in control of a ship. So what we want to do here is we are going to need to rotate the steering wheel like this to actually physically turn the ship in a certain direction. And what we're looking for here... No, I didn't want to zoom out. I did not want to zoom out. We're looking for a symbol out on the horizon to match the sign on the top of the sail, or match the symbol on the top of the sail, I guess I should say. And there it is right over there. So we're just going to keep on moving. We're almost there. Keep rotating to the right, and then stop once you actually get it in your sights, and it will line up perfectly. And now we can set sail once again. There was a bit of a delay there. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles south, east 2 miles, north 1 mile. Click this button to set sail, and this is the end of the sailing adventure. Revealing a painted figurehead. Now, where is this painted figure going to go, you may ask? Well, what we're going to do is back out here. And then head over to the ship on this side. Put this figurehead at the very front. Okay, I guess you're going to zoom. Put the figurehead at the very front. And a secret compartment is going to open up, and in here we are going to be able to grab our hands on a model ship's wheel. And as you might be able to figure out, with this we're going to go to the back of the ship, put the steering wheel where it belongs, like so. And then make sure you rotate it to make sure it works. The footage cut out there, which is annoying. But you didn't miss too much, you just missed me actually rotating the wheel. Alright, and then you want to slide this all the way to the right. Then turn the wheel. I said turn the wheel. Turn the wheel. There we go. Now, there's a code that's waiting for us. How does one discover this code? Well, now the sails have dropped, let's put on the eyepiece, and we can discover that the code word is rose. So let's go down here and rotate these letters around. There's an R, there's an O. Rotate, there we go, there's an S, and there's an E. And now we have the word rose. And we'll also be given the other half of the red gem we found earlier, so let's go ahead and back out. Put it in place on the right hand side, and then slide this towards the middle. And now we have yet another area to experiment with. First things first, we want to double click on this little thing right here. Grab it, it's a weight, and what we're going to want to do is double click on this series of little shapes on these platforms. Put the weight on this one right here, which is going to start moving in that direction. And now that the lock has been slid, we can open it up like so. Then grab our hands on this small disc right here, and we're going to back out, put the small disc in this little hole right here, turn it around, and then slide this piece into it to complete the circle. And doing so is going to give us not only our next weight, but also a next small disc. So what we're going to do now is put the next weight in place right here. And while we're at it, we may as well read the letters that we have here. So let's go ahead and back out, zoom in over here to read the letter. It is the natural tendency of this world to twist itself into even more elaborate arrangements. Like the spirals of a vortex, at once both the pattern and the system. It seems as though each room is itself a part of a wider apparatus. You must tune the room to find the glyph, and tune the glyph to find the door. All must be aligned, but to what purpose? Am I the explorer? The prisoner? Alright. One more letter waiting for us over here. Let's go ahead and read that. The Santa Helena came apart on rocks at 1800 hours. She heaved as if the bottom had been torn from her and began taking on water at a terrible rate. Only there were no rocks. We approached as soon as we dared to try and take on survivors, but only one swim clear of the wreckage. He is some sort of scholar, a wild-eyed wreck of a man in tattered, blood-stained rags. Clutched in his white-knuckled fist was some sort of sculpture that he babbled was of unimaginable power and worth. It seems our prize may not have gone with the Helena. I've had it moved to my quarters for safekeeping. Now then, let's put the other small disc that we covered right here, and we just gotta slide all the different things into their proper places to complete the circle. And it is going to give us our next weight. Before we do anything else, you want to make sure you rotate all of these so that that they're all pointing towards the center, as if they're about to eat the circle in the center. That's what you want them all to do. Once they're doing that, you're good. So now all we gotta do is just click in this and then rotate it to the left to turn it into a triangle. Now we can put the triangle in its place right here. Now the reason why I had you rotate all these towards the center is because if we look over on the left hand side, we'll notice that there's actually a drawer right here, which only opens if they're all facing towards the center. We can get our third small disc. Let's go ahead and put that in the hole right here. Now there is actually a specific order you gotta do here. So what you want to do is you want to rotate this so that it's facing down, slide this all the way to the back, rotate it around, and then slide this one in from the top. Slide this here, in this one here, and then that will complete the circle and allow us to get our hands on a weight. Then we can open up this way by sliding all of these, by sliding all of these pieces upward, like so, and that will reveal its true shape, which we can then put right here. Now that the fourth hole has been revealed, we're going to double click in here and rotate this around so that this arrow aligns with that arrow, and then we'll be able to get our fourth small disc. Let's go ahead and drag that down here, and this one also requires a little bit of rotation. So let's first slide this into the center, rotate it around so that the back is facing the end, and then rotate it around so that it perfectly lines up, slide it in, and then slide this one in toward the middle, so this one as well. That will complete the circle, and now we can get another weight. And this one also requires some manipulation, so we want to rotate this so that the arrows line up. And this will give us another weight in addition to the one that we already had. So let's back out, put our final two weights on the machine, starting with this one. And ending with this one. Now what we're going to do is we want to grab the small anchor and the metal clock spring. Now we're going to return over to the ship area and put this anchor on the slot, which it goes right here. Now we're going to get our hands on a metal star, and this is going to become very important later. So now what we're going to do is return over to the box that we were at just a moment ago. And this time what you may notice is that there are these little things on the side which can be slid down. So we're going to slide this one down and then head over, back out. Head over to this corner, do the same thing. You want to do this for all the corners, which can be slid down. And this is going to give us a small flat-headed screwdriver. So now what we're going to want to do, now that we have the screwdriver, is back out, go around to this side, place the star right here, rotate it around so that it faces the top arrow, pull it open, and before you do anything too fancy, you want to double click on this slider right here, slide it all the way to the left, and it is going to give you a winding key. Let's flip the switch right here in order to flip the whole thing around. And double click on this spot right here, pull it to the right, flip it all the way open. Now what I want to do is use a screwdriver to unscrew this right here, then flip it around, put the winding wire in, and now we can officially start turning this thing around to get the clockworks moving. And now if we zoom in here, we see that we can now manipulate the time. How is this going to benefit us? Well, if we back out and head around to the left side of the box and then slide this right here, with our eyepiece enabled, we are going to see that we need to turn the clock to the time 250. So let's zoom in and do exactly that. Turn it to 250. And doing that will allow us to push both these buttons in order to stop the rotating pieces right here when they are... no, I didn't want to back out there. When the opening is revealed, that's when you want to stop it, so we'll stop on both. On mobile device, you have to stop them both at the same time, but on PC, you just do it one at a time. Once you have the key, we go to the top of the box right here, put the key in the hole, and then rotate it. And now, if we put on our eyepiece, we'll notice we have a little bit of a image puzzle to solve. So we have to line it up with the rest of the ship, rotate the second Elmo circle like that. Next, rotate it like here so it's all lines up. Rotate the middle piece to line up the net. And now, if we zoom in here, we'll see we have a diamond-shaped metal casting. What are we going to do with this? Well, if we back all the way out, you'll see there's a perfect little place in the middle of the table for us to put it. And now, what are we going to find? Another one of these boxes. Yep, we've arrived at the end of the level, so let's slide it into place. And we have our red gem. Let's get our eyepiece on and ready. And just like last time, all we got to do is rotate these pieces, or look around so that we can actually form the logo that we need to. So let's rotate it around right here to form the symbol we want, and reveal the doorway into the next room. Chapter complete. You have successfully navigated the secrets of the ship, yet this grim ordeal will become increasingly challenging. Alright, and that'll be for this episode, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one to catch you all tomorrow for some more The Room 2. Goodbye.